Hello students, in this video lecture I am going to discuss a very important result related to distributive lattices, and that is called cancellation law. So I am going to discuss basically cancellation laws in distributive lattice. Now the result is like this: a lattice is distributive if and only if cancellation laws hold in it. So the result is if and only if, which means that the converse of the result also holds. So the result simply means that if a lattice is distributive, then cancellation laws will hold in it, and if the cancellation laws hold in a lattice, then the lattice is distributive. So both the ways the result is true. So more precisely, if we just state the result in a detailed manner, then the result is like this: if L is a lattice, then L is distributive if and only if the cancellation laws hold. And what are cancellation laws? Cancellation laws are that if you pick up any three elements A, B and C in L, and if these two conditions are given to you, that is A meet C is equal to B meet C and A join C is equal to B join C, which I have marked as 1 and 2, then these two conditions jointly imply that A is equal to B, which means that in a way I can cancel out C on both the sides. I can just cancel out C on both the sides of 1, and I can cancel out C on both the sides of 2, and 1 and 2 will together imply A is equal to B. So that is why the name comes cancellation laws. So if a lattice is distributive, then cancellation laws will hold, and if cancellation laws hold in a lattice, then the lattice is distributive. So the result, this particular result is true both the ways. So both the ways we will show the result. So I am going to give you the proof of this result. So firstly, let me suppose that the lattice is distributive. So let us L be a distributive lattice. Now what we have to show, if the lattice L is distributive, we just have to show that cancellation laws are true in L, which means that if condition 1 is true, that A meets C is equal to B meets C, and if A join C is equal to B join C, if 1 and 2 are holding, then we just have to show that this particular condition 3, which is A is equal to B, this is true. So let us suppose that 1 and 2 are true. And we just have to show A is equal to B. So what I do is I start with A. Now A can be written as A meet A join C. This is by absorption law, because we are in a lattice, and in a lattice absorption law holds. So A is always equal to A meet A join C, where this particular element can be anything. Here I am taking it to be C according to my convenience. Otherwise this here at this particular point, any element of the lattice can be written. So A is equal to A meet A join C, and now A join C, this particular term, is equal to B join C. Why? This is by 2, because by 2 A join C is same as B join C. So I am replacing the value of A join C, and now again we are in a distributive lattice. So the meet distributes itself over join, which means that when meet distributes itself over join, so the first term that we get is A meet B. This is the first term, then join is in between, and then so the first thing is that A gets attached to B and we get A meet B, and then A gets attached to C and we get A meet C, and join is as it is in between. So this is because we are in a distributive lattice. L is a distributive lattice. And again A meet B, A meet B can be written as B meet A, because by commutative law holds in a lattice. So I can change the order of the terms. Join is as it is, and A meet C is equal to B meet C, because by condition 1 A meet C is same as B meet C. So this is by 1. So A meet C is same as B meet C. This is by 1. So I am using the value of A meet C as B meet C. And now again applying distributive law, because in the lattice L, because L is a distributive lattice, so B meet A join C is equal to B meet A. B distribute, B gets attached to A first, and then B gets attached to C, which means that meet distributes itself over join. So we are applying distributive law but in a reverse manner. So from this expression I am getting this expression by applying distributive law. And again A join C is same as B join C. This is by 2, because in equation 2, which has been marked above, A join C is same as B join C. You can see over here A join C is same as B join C. So putting the value of A join C as B join C over here, and again by absorption law this term gets absorbed in B. In a lattice, the absorption law holds, so this term gets absorbed in B and we get only B. So we started with A and we have got B in the end, which means that A is equal to B. So condition 1 and 2, which means that these two conditions together imply A is equal to B, which means cancellation laws hold. And so the first part of the theorem is, first part of this result is true, that if the lattice is distributive, cancellation laws are true. Now let me prove the opposite part, which means that I have to prove that if cancellation laws are true in the given lattice L, then the given lattice is distributive. So let me suppose that cancellation laws hold, which means that condition 1 and 2 are, whenever condition 1 and 2 are given to you, then they jointly imply condition 3. This is true. We just have to show that lattice is distributive. So suppose 1 and 2 jointly imply 3, that is cancellation laws hold in L. We just have to show that L is distributive. If possible, suppose the opposite, suppose that L is non-distributive, and we'll get a contradiction in the end. Now if L is non-distributive, then by a result that I stated in my last video, whenever a lattice is non-distributive, whenever a lattice is non-distributive, then it contains a sublattice isomorphic to the diamond lattice M3 or the pentagon lattice N5. M3 is actually this lattice, the diamond lattice. M3 means the one at the bottom, one at the top, and 3 bar. M3 actually is this lattice. M3 is the direct sum of 1, 3 bar, and 3. So 1 is this is a chain of 1 element. 3 bar means anti-chain of 3 elements, and then 1 which is a chain of 1 element, and you are taking the direct sum. So this is the hash diagram of M3. And what is N5? N5 was the pentagon lattice, which means that it was something like this, 1 2 and 1 2 3, and one more element should be there here, something like this. And let me take a eraser. Okay, so this is what we have. This is your N5. So in my last video, if you just take a look at the last video which I made, in that video I had mentioned that if a lattice is non-distributive, then it always contains a sublattice isomorphic to M3, or which is the diamond lattice, or a sublattice isomorphic to pentagon lattice, which is N5. This is the pentagon lattice N5. Now since we are assuming L to be non-distributive, so the L will definitely contain a sublattice isomorphic to M3 or N5. But let us just examine M3. M3, which is the diamond lattice, looks like this. I had just drawn the figure before. So M3 looks like this, and if we just mark the elements, the lowermost element I am marking as 0 because it is the bottommost element. The topmost element I'm marking as 1, and the elements in the middle, in the anti-chain, the middle anti-chain, I'm marking as A, C, B. So we can just see in M3 cancellation laws do not hold. Why? Because A meet C. A meet C. If you just take a look at A meet C and B meet C, then A meet C and B meet C are both equal. Why? Because A meet C and B meet C both are actually equal to 0. Because A meets C and B meets C, the greatest lower bound of A and C and the greatest lower bound of B and C both is 0. So both of them are equal to 0. And A joins C and B joins C. The least upper bound of A and C and the least upper bound of C and B is 1. So A meets C is same as B meets C, and A joins C is same as B joins C. But this does not imply A is equal to B. A and B are distinct elements of the lattice L. So cancellation laws are not holding in M3. And also cancellation laws don't hold in N5, which is the pentagon lattice. This is the pentagon lattice, and we have given names to the elements of the pentagon lattice just to refer to them. The bottommost element is 0, the topmost element is 1, and the rest elements I have marked as A, B and C. And again you can verify that A meet C and B meet C are equal, and both of them are equal to 0, and A joins C is equal to B joins C, which means that the least upper bound of A and C and the least upper bound of B and C is 1. That we can verify. but this doesn't imply that A is equal to B, which means that cancellation laws are not holding in N5, cancellation laws are not holding in M3, which means that cancellation laws do not hold in the lattice L, because the lattice L was non-distributive. This we had assumed to be non-distributive, and because we had assumed to be non-distributive, so we had just said that because the lattice L is non-distributive, so it contains a sublattice isomorphic to M3 or N5. So if M3 or N5 are a part of this lattice L, then we arrive at a contradiction, because in M3 and N5 cancellation laws are not holding, but we are assuming in the beginning that cancellation laws hold in L. We are assuming that cancellation laws are holding in L, and now here we are arriving at a situation where cancellation laws do not hold in M3 and N5, and consequently they do not hold in L, because either M3 or N5 is a part of L. One of them is a part of L. So the cancellation laws do not hold in L, because L is assumed to be non-distributive. So one of them has to be a part of L, and cancellation laws are not holding, but we are assuming that in the beginning we just started that cancellation laws, we started with this fact that cancellation laws hold in L. So we are arriving at a contradiction, and this contradiction is coming simply because of the wrong assumption that we made, and that wrong assumption was that L is non-distributive. This means that this assumption that L is non-distributive is wrong, and therefore L is distributive. So L very much comes out to be a distributive lattice. So this part of the result simply proves that whenever cancellation laws hold in a lattice, then the lattice comes out to be distributive. So both the ways we have shown the result. Both the ways the result has been shown that if a lattice is distributive, then cancellation laws will hold in it, and if cancellation laws hold in it, then the lattice is distributive. So both the ways the result is true. And now an illustration of this result, let me consider the lattice N0 LCM GCD. N0 is the set of natural numbers along with 0, which means that N0 is N union 0, which means that actually this is the set of whole numbers 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So this is the set of whole numbers, and LCM here is actually the operation join, and GCD is the operation meet, and with these two operations as join and meet, we have seen that this particular PO set N0 comes out to be a lattice with respect to this as your join and this as your meet. And now this lattice is not only a plain lattice, but it is a distributive lattice. Why is it a distributive lattice? Because cancellation laws are true in it. And how are the cancellation laws true in it? Because if you take the form of the cancellation law was that if A join C is same as B join C, and if A meets C is same as B meets C, if these two are given to you, then they together it should imply, together these two conditions should imply A is equal to B. If such a thing happens, then you say cancellation laws are true. Now here join, the operation join is LCM. So instead of writing join of A and C, I write LCM of A and C. So if LCM of A and C is given to be same as LCM of B and C, which means join of B and C, and if meet of A and C, which means GCD of A and C, is same as the meet of B and C, which means GCD of B and C, then what do these two conditions imply? If you just multiply the left hand sides, then the left hand sides, if they are multiplied with each other, then the LCM of A and C into the GCD of A and C would be same as this is equal to the product of the right hand side, which means LCM of B and C into the GCD of B and C. And we very well know that the LCM and the GCD, if you multiply the LCM and the GCD of two numbers, then you get product of the two numbers, which means that this actually, the left hand side is product of A and C, and in the same way this is product of B and C. So this means that this implies that A into C is same as B into C, and which together which implies that A is equal to B. A is equal to B. So this is what I have written. So cancellation laws are true, and because cancellation laws are true, so this lattice is very much a distributive lattice. So we have just used the result which we have proved before in order to show that this particular lattice is a distributive lattice. And what is the reason for this lattice being distributive? The reason is that because cancellation laws are holding in it. So that was all about cancellation laws in a distributive lattice.